Okay, I have an interesting product review here because I've reviewed mice before, especially gaming mice. But this is a little different and for slightly different purposes mostly. I'll go into a little bit about its specs, what it's for, then I'll show you it turned on, I'll show it close up, I'll show you its buttons and what it looks like, and then towards the end I'll tell you the price and if I recommend it or not. Now hopefully I'm saying this right, it's a Bondidea and EasySMX wireless ring mouse. Its model is B12. Now let's just talk about first what its uses are. Well, of course you could just use it as a general everyday mouse, but that is not really the primary intention. It's primarily to be a convenient pointer and mouse when you are perhaps given a presentation. That is the main use for this. You could use it just as a general mouse. You could just use this as a general everyday mouse if you want. But the real reasons for this is either given presentations or maybe you're watching something on your TV but you're using your computer. You've got your computer or your laptop plugged into your TV and you don't want to go walking over to your computer and hitting space to pause it or whatever, or you don't want to have a wireless mouse on your lap where you know it can be a bit awkward. With this you can just have this small little wireless mouse on your finger, just pick it up or just pick it up, hit a button to pause or whatever it is you want to do, rewind, whatever. Perhaps not best suited as a everyday mouse, but it is really, really, really great at what it's intended for, which is to be a convenient wireless pointer, touch pointer. And it's very comfortable and lightweight and portable as well. So say you're given a presentation, a business presentation or a presentation at university or college or whatever. Well, I've seen this. I've been to college, I've been to university, and I've seen teachers have a presentation up using a projector on the screen, and they've been talking about whatever it is about the topic, and then when they want to change a slide they've actually walked from the middle of the room over to a computer in the corner, pressed a button, or pressed just like a mouse key or space or whatever on the keyboard to change the slide, walked back, talked a bit more, gone back over, changed the slide at the computer, and it does take a bit of time. It interrupts the presentation and it looks a little weird, walking back and forth all the time. Well, if they had this, you'd have this just on a finger like a ring, and it is lightweight and comfortable. It doesn't hurt your finger, it's not heavy, it's nice and lightweight. They could stand over on the complete opposite side of the room or in the middle of the room or whatever, away from the computer. Then when they want to change it, they just hit a button with their thumb on this ring mouse and it would change over instead of having to walk over. And you could say, well, what about a normal wireless mouse, like a Apple wireless mouse? Well, you could use that, but not only are they bigger and heavier, but also they need a flat surface really. So you'd still, even if you had it out in the middle of the room with you giving a presentation, you'd perhaps need to have a flat surface in front of you and bend over and click, or bend over and slide the mouse around to get to whatever button you want to press and hit it. So you still have to have a flat surface and bend over doing that. So it's not very, very practical for a presentation. Whereas this, it's a lightweight, comfortable little ring mouse that you just have in your hand all the time and click or slide the cursor around using your thumb. As it's not just a clicker, you don't just click a button to change slides. You can actually move your mouse around, move your finger around on the surface to navigate with the cursor. So you can move the cursor around as well. So it is like a full-featured mouse and it has 5 buttons. So there is lots and lots of uses for this. Now let me give you a bit of more detail about the specs. As I mentioned, it has a comfortable rubber grip and rubber ring for holding in your hand, and the area where your finger goes in, which you'll see closer up, is rubber and lightweight, comfortable and soft, and it does feel like it. I was thinking perhaps having it on your finger, it might poke you and press into your finger a bit, because I have used one of these a long time ago and it wasn't very comfortable. It was quite hard plastic that was quite uncomfortable to hold. This is soft rubber and it is comfortable and it doesn't poke or press in. It uses 2.4G two-way wireless technology using frequency hopping technology, which is for super anti-interference. So this doesn't use Bluetooth, and in a way I'm actually glad that it doesn't use Bluetooth, because Bluetooth seems to have a good reputation, but I've never been impressed with it from a distance, because from a distance I find it can, if you have a wireless mouse, from a distance it can often disconnect a lot or just not act quite right. Whereas sometimes when you get these things that use RF and use just a wireless frequency, or like I say, RF, like remote controlled things, sometimes that actually has a more stable, solid connection than Bluetooth. So lots of people, lots of companies like to use Bluetooth, and sometimes that's fine. But I think for a touch pointer like this that you're going to be using from a distance, I think it's perhaps best not to use Bluetooth. Although maybe you're watching this and you're a big Bluetooth fan and you'll be in the comments criticising me for saying that. But personally, I think for a product like this, perhaps not using Bluetooth is best, and it doesn't. It uses 2.4G two-way wireless. And it has 5 buttons, and they can, if you're using this on Windows, they can be customized. It has one of those small CDs that you can put in your CD drive and install a program, which is a very small program that allows you to customize the buttons, and that's really good. So instead of having the button in the middle as the only left click one, you can make them all left click, or you can make the one on the left of the middle pad left click, and vice versa. And you can even change them from doing things like left click and right clicking and changing the DPI. You could also have one button, you can actually go to a category on the program called PPT, which is for PowerPoint presentations, and you can select a button to make the presentation full screen or unfull screen, or you could make the presentation go to a next page or upper page, back a page, things like that. It does actually have PowerPoint presentation buttons that you can add to this. They're not used by default. By default, the buttons are things like left click, right click, and change the speed of the pointer. But if you want to customize it to a media button, you can. A multimedia button such as pause, play, you can have one of the buttons do that, or PowerPoint, you can have it go to next slide, previous slide. It's really very, very customizable on Windows. Having said that, this does work on Mac, and I have used it on Mac, and I'll show you it being used on Mac later, but you don't have any software for Mac, so it's all plug and play, which it is on Windows. It is plug and play on Windows. You can plug this into Windows and just use it without using the software, but if you want to customize it, it comes with software you can install on Windows. But unfortunately, at this time, there is no Mac software for customizing the buttons, so you're stuck with what they do on Mac. But just know that if you really want to use this and you don't care about customizing the buttons and you're a Mac user, you can use it on Mac. Or if you are at a place of work, such as if you're a teacher at a college, or if you are a businessman that goes somewhere that uses a Mac, you can still use this in its standard default style. It does have various dots per inch or DPI settings you can adjust. So if you find it's not fast enough, or it's too fast, or it's too slow, whichever, there are various DPIs you can adjust. The default is 500. The default is 500 DPI, which is the lowest setting. But if you find it's too slow, you can actually change it to a 1000 DPI setting, or a 1500, or a 2000 DPI setting. So by default it's at the lowest 500, but if you find it's not quite right for you, you can actually customize it to 1000, 1500, or 2000 instead, which is really, really good, especially at a mouse, a pointer of this price. It's a wireless pointer primarily for presentations, yet it does have different DPIs, which is a really, really nice feature. And we've been talking about distance and how this is primarily to be used at a distance for things like presentations. Well, how well does it work? What's the distance? How far away can you use this from your computer? Up to 10 meters, which is probably more than enough for the type of use that this is for. It is for primarily things like presentations, and you're not going to be a huge distance away from your computer when you do that. So 10 meters is enough, or should be, for most users. It has a transmission rate of 1 megabyte a second. It has a RF or radio frequency range of 2.400 to 2.484 megahertz. It has voltage of 2.1 to 3.6 volt, and it has channel spacing of 1 megahertz. It originally cost around £60. Well, it now costs under 30. It's £28.99. Now here it is, just on the finger, and you can just use your thumb to scroll around. This is the center pad, which allows you to scroll the cursor around the screen, or you can press this button in, click it in, and that's your left click unless you've customized it. Then there's a button here to the left, a button to the right, a button above and a button below. So there's 5 clickable buttons altogether, plus a center pad you use just to scroll your thumb over to navigate with the cursor. That moves the cursor around like if you're moving a mouse around on a table. As you can see here, you have the branding of the company, and here is a LED that shows if it's charging or if it's on, or if it's got power or what. Let's just hit it on. There you go, you can see the LED there, and it turns off after a second. It would be orange if it's charging. There it is in my finger. And it is rubbery, and it does feel very, very, very soft and lightweight. Now let's see if we can see the button. Now you might not be able to see on screen, but there is a little toggle that you push here. If it's up to the top, it's off, and if we just click it down, it turns it on. Then push it up to turn it off. That's it. It is very, very lightweight. It hardly has any weight at all. It's very small, lightweight, and rubbery and soft and comfortable. You just put it on your finger. Just put it on your finger like that, and use your thumb to navigate, scroll, and click. Very straightforward, simple, very lightweight. It is plastic. Now here, by the way, is a USB port. That is for charging it because it's rechargeable. And the cable is included, and I'll show you that in just a second. Also, a good thing is, once you've used it, if you say are on a slide that you've got to talk about for ages and you don't want to hold it all the time, you can put it down and it will stay sitting. See, I'm just putting it down there, and you see it sits on its own. You don't have to prop it up, you don't have to put it on anything. It just sits on a desk by itself if you want to put it down for a second. Here is a cable included for charging it, which is really good because it is one of the stretchy type where you stretch it out and it stretches back in. It is one of the type where you can stretch it right out, as you see, and then put it back in. You see, not sure if you can see this, look. Okay, so it does include a USB cable, which isn't very odd. A lot of products do, but it's one of the type which stretch out and then snap back in, which is a type of cable you'd normally pay for yourself and buy separately. Normally cables included with these sort of products are the type which are just very standard cables. They're not those type of cables, so it is a very good bonus. It also comes with a dongle. It does come with a gold-ended, small, very small, portable little USB dongle. This is how you use it with your computer wirelessly. You have to plug that into a USB port on your computer, and it is small, gold-ended, and lightweight. So you get this, you get the product itself, and you get a USB cable, which is a stretchable type, and it comes with a manual as well, a very detailed manual. Here's the manual. It does tell you all you need to know about using it, with diagrams. Okay, it also comes with nice packaging. The box is quite nice because it's under £30, and the type of box it has is one I normally see on things like smartwatches that cost about £60 or £70. and this was originally £60, so the box actually does show that it was, because normally when I get a product around £20 or £30, it comes with much plainer, cheaper packaging. This has nice packaging, and it does have packaging like a product that's £60-70, but it's under 30 now. It's £29, and I do really recommend it. Especially if you're somebody like a teacher or business person who's going to do presentations, this is such a really handy product that works very well. I do really recommend it, and it's a good price because it's not 60 anymore and it's not 70. It is under £30, but it's a good product with a good cable included and a gold-ended dongle and nice packaging. Great product, works well. I've not had any problems with disconnecting. No problems at all with this. It works really well. So I really recommend it, especially at the good price that it's at now. And I've reviewed other things by EasySMX, and they are a good seller. This is in partnership with another company, and I haven't reviewed theirs, but I have reviewed other stuff by EasySMX, and they are really good. So I really recommend it. A link will be in the description. Please like and comment on this video, and if you do me a huge favour and subscribe to my YouTube channel, it just takes a few seconds and will help me out a lot. Also, if you're watching this on Amazon as a review on the Amazon product page, please hit the helpful button along with this video. That will help me out a lot too. Thanks for watching.